Okay, so I'm here with my patient Cheyenne, and I'm just going to be informing her on the purpose, the importance, and the benefits of having a properly fitted and measured wheelchair. So, the purpose of that is obviously just to make sure that you're comfortable, but as well as to prevent against some pressure injuries and to make sure that you can still access the community and use your chair accordingly and to make sure it doesn't restrict any of your mobility. So the benefits of having a properly fitted wheelchair are the same. It's going to decrease the amount of pain that you're feeling, if any. As well, it's going to help protect your body, so your skin and your joints. It's going to enable you to move around the community more effectively and more independently.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so the importance of that is for your safety, as well as everyone else around you. As well, it's to promote your independence. Once again, it's just to make sure that you can do what you want to do. And yeah. So I'm ensuring that my patient is sitting on a firm, flat surface. As well, I'm looking to make sure that her hips and her shoulders are in neutral alignment, that her knees are at about 90 degrees, and that her feet can comfortably touch the floor. I'm also making sure that she's wearing everyday footwear while I'm doing it. I also have a piece of paper close by to write down the measurements. Okay. So the first measurement that I'm going to be doing is your seat depth. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to be measuring from your knee pit right here, where the bottom of your leg meets the top part of your leg at your knee.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to go all the way back to the side of your butt.
Okay.
If that's okay. Bum. Okay, Cheyenne, so if it's okay with you, I'm going to start taking that measurement now.
All right.
Okay. Okay, perfect. And it looks like we have about 17 inches there. So like I said, from that number we're going to subtract 2 inches, so your seat depth is 15.
All right.
Okay, Cheyenne, so now I need to figure out your seat width. So that is a measurement from the 2 widest points of your hips, and I'm figuring that out so I can figure out how long your chair needs to be. And when I'm figuring out that number, I'm going to be adding 2 inches. And the reason for that is just to make sure that you have a little bit of wiggle room on each side and to make sure that nothing's bumping into you if you need to lean on one side or the other.
Sounds good.
Okay, so if it's okay with you, I'm going to need to touch your bum.
All right.
Okay, so I'm able to do it just through the chair here. Okay, perfect. And that looks like it's 16.
All right.
So we're going to add 2 inches, which means that your seat width is 18.
All right.
Okay, Cheyenne, so now I'm going to be measuring for the seat height for your chair. So to do that, I need to go from the bottom of the seat that you're sitting on all the way up to your clavicle.
All right.
Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Perfect, and we go to your clavicle just to make sure that it's not going to be rubbing on any of the bony prominences on your back.
Okay.
Okay, Cheyenne, so that number is 21. As well, Cheyenne, since you're going to be moving your wheelchair by hand propelling, I'm going to need to figure out the distance from the back of your shoulder blade all the way down to the seat of your chair. Is that okay with you?
Sounds good.
Perfect. So I'm just going to palpate for this lowest part of your shoulder blade.
All right.
Now that I've found it, I'm just going to go all the way down to the chair bottom. And that looks like it's about 8. Sorry about that. That looks like it's about 18, and so I'm going to be subtracting 4 inches from that. And the reason for that is just so that when you're hand propelling, you don't have to strain to reach it. You can just easily do it comfortably.
Okay.
Okay, Cheyenne, so now I'm going to be determining your leg rest length. So to do that, I need to measure from the bottom of your heel all the way up into the spot of your knee pit, the place in between your upper and lower leg, if that's okay with you.
Sounds good.
Perfect. And so I'm just doing this so that we know the right length to make your footrest so that you can comfortably sit and not have to be reaching. So that looks like it's 17 and a half.
Alright.
And yeah, so that's that number. And so we do subtract 2 inches from that number, which brings it down to 15 and a half. The reason for that is just so that, once again, your legs can rest comfortably and you're not having to reach down and put a lot of strain on your knees. So they would get sore after a long time. Okay, Cheyenne, so now I'm going to be determining the height needed for your armrests. So to do that, I'm going to measure from the seat that you're sitting on. I'm going to need you to hold your arm at about 90 degrees so I can help you position it. And then when we do that, I'm going to be measuring to your elbow. And I'm just going to add 1 inch to that just so that your shoulders aren't strained always going down and that you don't have sore shoulders.
Sounds good.
So you can put your arm down at your side. Just need your 90 degrees of flexion right there. So that's perfect. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to like one process. Okay, and that looks like it's 10 inches. So adding in one number, it would be 11 inches.
Alrighty.